Hello everyone, and welcome to another unboxing video. Today we're going to be continuing working on Monster Hunter World, the board game. I've got the Ancient Forest core box here, and we're going to go ahead and open this up, take a look at the miniatures and anything else that's inside, and take a look at the cards as well. So let's go ahead and start cutting this guy open. I'm actually really curious how the mechanics of the different weapons in the games are going to translate to this. There's 14 different weapons in Monster Hunter, and each one plays very, very differently. The core set, the Ancient Forest core set has the Great Sword, dual blades, bow, and sword and shield. And the monsters it comes with are the Great Jagras, Tobi-Kadachi, Anjanath, and Rathalos. I mentioned last time that this box is, just by itself, it's pretty weighty. Alright, so we'll just take a quick look at the front here, which I showed before, it does look like the front of the game. And then we've got the top here, which is Rathalos and Anjanath doing a turf war. I believe the bottom is the same way. Yeah, the bottom is the same way. And on the sides we've got another look at Rathalos coming down on the hunter. Same thing. And the back just kind of showcases the game itself. Exploring the Ancient Forest, all the components, tokens, cards, all that good stuff. So, let's go ahead and take a look. Oh, I don't know if I did that or if that was the like that. There's a little mark right there. It's just the box. It's not a big deal. Alright, it's starting to give way. Alright, there we go. I'm feeling it now. There we go. Got that wonderful new box smell. Alright, this looks like just like another cover sheet. Oh, is this like a... Oh, cool. It's a way to organize the tray so you can put everything back. That's cool. I like how it's got this kind of little cover sheet on here with more of that great cover art. Organizing the tray. Okay, cool. Dice. Alright. Looks like we've got some wings here. Oh, even the wings are heavy. Wings for Rathalos, I'm assuming. And we're going to take a closer look at these after the fact. I've got a cool little Lazy Susan. We can spin around and look at these up close. Oh, you've got all the monsters in here. So there's the aforementioned Rathalos without his wings. We've got Anjanath, which is basically a T-Rex that breathes fire, scary guy. We've got the Great Jagras. And the Tobikadachi, which is essentially a lightning flying squirrel with the head of a dragon. That's the miniatures tray. We've got the Punchboard components. Looks like health dials there. Break tokens. I think these are the Palico tokens. Different status elements. Not sure what these are for. But we've got the board here. We've got the rule book. First time playing. With all the references. Okay, so the rule book is actually separate from the quest book, which is the choose your own adventure portion of the game. Okay, so that, yeah, those are two separate books. Okay. I actually like the way they did it, kind of like a fake leather cover. A lot of the monsters on there. Okay, we've got the stamina boards where you're going to be placing your cards. Let's take a look at this. Okay, there's 4 of them. So yeah, the stamina boards where you place your cards on the... Place your action cards and attack cards here, and then all your equipment and stuff on the bottom. Got a notepad to keep track of your hunter information and stats. Got space for the name, campaign name, Palico. All the, I guess you can kind of do like a little tally of all the different ores and other stuff that you collect. Monster parts, inventory, health potions, day tracker. So that's cool. Looks like I'm going to have to laminate a couple of these. No, not laminate. I just have to make extra copies because it don't really seem like there's that many sheets in here. Okay, we've got the monster information cards as well as the Armor Forge references. And we've got the decks of cards. Said we're going to take a closer look at these after the fact. Just want to pull everything out. Oh, these are the monster behavior cards. Azur Rathalos right there. Attack cards. Weapons. More cards. And it looks like we did get some dice here. I think these are for those dials that we saw on the punch boards. And some pretty standard looking dice. Nothing really special about these. And we have the Hunter minis. Okay, so we've got the Bow Hunter. The Sword and Shield, which is going to be my main, because that's the one I always pick. I hope it's coming up clear. If not, we're going to take a better look later. We've got the Dual Blades Hunter. And the Great Sword Hunter. That iconic giant sword. Okay, so let's clear a little bit of room here. And actually, while I have these guys up, I did want to do a quick comparison with some of the Monster Hunter Amiibo that I have. These are, I guess I'll line them down so you can see them. These are Amiibo that were made for Monster Hunter games on Nintendo Switch. We've got these two, which were from Monster Hunter Rise, and this one, which is actually a different kind of Rathalos from the Monster Hunter Stories 2. So it looks a lot like the regular Rathalos, except the arms are different. We've got Magnamalo here. And we have this guy here. And I did want to compare the sizes just with the actual Monster Hunter guys. And actually, let's see if we can put these wings on Rathalos. Looks like it's just put the giant peg inside. Is this even the right way? Oh, no. Is that just supposed to slide? Oh, okay. It just slots in. Well, this is really sturdy plastic too. Okay, I don't really... Now, this one looks like it fits okay, but this one, I'm not sure if I'm getting the angle wrong, but it's definitely got more of a visible seam. Let me see if I can get that in better. Yeah, I might be doing it wrong, but you can kind of tell from the front there that this one on the left fits a lot better than the one on the right. It's just kind of sticking out there like you broke your shoulder or something. And like I said, I did want to just compare the sizes here with the Monster Hunter Amiibo. These are definitely a lot bigger and actually a lot more detailed too. Look at the difference in the tails there. Just, I mean, this one's painted, but just you can see the degree of detail on these miniatures is really, really good. And I heard that that's something that's Steamforged is known for. We've got the Magnamalo here. Let's see how he looks like against the Tobikadachi. So who knows? Maybe if someone does like a someone else that has these might want to introduce these monsters into the game, do a little homebrew of them. Shouldn't be too hard to just kind of, place them on the table, make some fake little direction markers here on the bases there. We'll compare you with Anjanath. So yeah, the sizes are comparable. Although these monsters are supposed to be pretty sure this one is bigger than this guy. But yeah, so that's just interesting comparing the sizes. So let's go ahead and clear up the table a little bit, make room for the punch boards. Then we'll take a look at the monster cards and then the actual weapon cards as well. So let's go ahead and clear this up first. Okay, so first things first, let's go ahead and take a look what's in the punch board here. Once I relocate my knife. Okay, so we'll just take a look at this first. So this is very obviously the actual game board where all the fights are going to be taking place. Does look double-sided, but I can't really tell the difference between the two. Right, this one does have a couple more details or some bones there, but it does look relatively the same. Yeah. Okay, so this is the punch board with the different elements and ailments. stun, fire, water, ice, dragon, thunder, paralysis, sleep, blast, and poison. These look like maybe health dials, perhaps. Palico tokens. And the break parts here as well. Looks like there's another set of the same. I think these are supposed to be modifiers for the location. Like I think this is like a bush. This is like, I guess for hiding. I'm not sure what the rocks are supposed to be for. This is probably a monster health dial. So those are the punch boards and the game board. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the monster cards. Now I remember during the Kickstarter, there was some pushback about the design of these monster cards, the status cards, because of the artwork. Now what a lot of people didn't know or didn't care is that this artwork is straight out of the game. And in fact, it's actually been traditionally the artwork of the monsters across most of the series. I mean, it does look a little primitive and really not that detailed, but the original Monster Hunter was supposed to be kind of like, you know, not necessarily like caveman days, but the people in the game were really, I guess you want to call them primitive. They just had, it was just a world where things were simpler. There wasn't really technology. It was just people living in villages, and there were just lots of monsters all over the place. So they had to kind of kill them in order to make room. So we've got the Great Jaggers here. Oh, with the reward table on the back. Oh, these are for the different, I guess the different difficulty. See, because this one's got 50 HP, this one's got 60. I imagine the loot drops are better too. There's 1, 2, 3 levels of Great Jagras. Then here's the Tobikadachi with that loot table. Level 2. Level 3 difficulty. And the Anjanath. 2 and 3. And then we have the Rathalos, the 4th monster. Oh, that's what it is. It's the star level, because the point of the campaign is to defeat a level 4-star monster, and I think that's how you beat the campaign. So level 1 for 1 star. 2-star Rathalos. 3-star Rathalos. And then we've got the cards for the Azure Rathalos. 2-star Azure. 3-star. Or I could be wrong. Maybe it's only to be the 3-star monster, since that's all I saw there. And these are the ancient, the reference guides for the weapons for I guess for crafting your weapons and armor. Ancient Forest Great Sword Forge reference. Okay, so this is the weapon, and then this is the armor for that weapon. Okay. It's great that they have that nice artwork there of the hunters there. So that's the Great Sword reference. The Dual Blades reference. The bow reference. Sword and Shield reference. Oh, and these are for if you use these hunters in the other core box. This is the Wildspire Waist Great Sword. With all the armor you can get from them. Wildspire Waist Dual Blades. Wildspire Waist Bow. And Wildspire Waist Sword and Shield. Okay, great. So that's what we've got in terms of the monster cards and the foraging and armor cards. Okay, now we've got a lot of cards here to look at. Looks like most of these are going to be action cards. The different types of weapons and armor you can create. The time cards during the investigation phase. And it looks like these are the monster behavior cards with the different attacks. So just to keep things... It looks like these are going to be mostly the same type of stuff. So we'll do these last. We'll do these cards before that. And then we'll do these two first. We'll do the time cards and take a look at these little monster behavior cards. So let's go ahead and clear this up again. All right, so let's go ahead and get these behavior cards opened up. You know, I always feel like I won't need to use something sharp, but I always end up needing it. Now these monster behavior cards are the smallest cards in the game compared to all the other standard size cards. Now it looks like the back shows what monster it is. We've got Azure Rathalos there, Rathalos, Anjanath. I guess it's just decreased. I guess it's just an order of difficulty. Anjanath, probably Tobi-Kadachi is next. Yeah, Tobi-Kadachi. Great Jagras. Yep. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at these. We'll go from easiest to hardest. I'm interested to see how the mechanics of each of the monsters will play out in the game itself. So with Great Jagras, one of the things it can do is that it commands the regular Jagras, which are just smaller versions of itself. Since there's no minis for regular Jagras, I'm assuming that that's not going to be something in the game. Another thing that it does is it will consume another monster, or does it just drink a lot of water? It's been a while since I fight one of these, but it'll do something. Either it eats another monster, or it drinks a lot of water, and it'll just bloat itself up. It'll just get real big, and it's got a big old, kind of like a bullfrog in its throat kind of thing, and it just gets big. And I mean, it's a bigger target, but it's also a lot heftier, and it can push people around. So let's go ahead and take a look at these cards, see what it can do. So we've got Heavy Bite. And it looks like if it's got movement, I guess that's the range. It's got movement, range, and also the direction of the attack as well. So there's a lot of information on here. So Heavy Bite, Head Slam, Head Butt, Spit Up. That's after it eats whatever, it throws up whatever it had in its mouth. Belly Low Left. Okay, a left. So when it rolls around, Belly Charge, Belly Slam, Belly Roll Right. I'm actually curious if any of these monsters will have a hip check, which is an infamous move where it's just with no real tells. It just kind of checks you with its hip and it smacks you real hard and real fast. In older games, it was a really infamous move. It was just a really cheap move and tactic by the monsters. Front Claw Smash, Forward Swing, Retreat Swing, Forward Roll, Jagras Spit. Okay, so those are the cards for the Great Jagras. Now let's take a look at Tobi-Kadachi. And I really like, I mentioned it before, but I really like that they went with the monster, the traditional Monster Hunter artwork in terms of the the way the monsters are depicted in the iconography. With the Tobi-Kadachi, it's kind of like a flying squirrel with electric powers. It'll jump. It'll kind of like jump up in the air and kind of glide and jump on you, or it'll climb on trees, kind of like Vega from Street Fighter. It'll kind of get up on the walls and the sides, and then it'll jump off and come raining down on you. It'll generate electricity with its fur and then just shoot out the electricity in all directions. So let's see what this guy can do. Leaping Bite, Rapid Bite, Backflip Slam, Backslash Swoop, Tail Swing, Gliding Tail Slam, Tail Spin, Tail Shock Pulse, Tail Slash, Tail Spark. A lot of the electricity comes off of its tail due to since it's fur, I guess it generates a lot of static electricity. Front Flip Slam, Leap Quick Bite, Gliding Tail Cleave. All right, so that's monster number 2. Next is the Anjanath. In Monster Hunter World, Anjanath was the first monster that I remember actually being legitimately scared of. Because, I mean, it's a big old T-Rex that shoots fire. How could you not be scared? And it's not depicted in the model, but you can see it here. It's got this flaring, it's got like this, kind of like that, the Dilophosaurus, that poisonous dinosaur in Jurassic Park, where it's got like this flare thing. Its back fins up, and it's got this thing on its head as well that kind of opens up when it's enraged, and it just makes it that much more intimidating. And so yeah, T-Rex that breathes fire. What's not to like? So, Tail Swing, Bludgeon, Slam, Charge, Crush, Head Plunge, Fire Snort, Bite. Nice and simple. Flame Spray, Flame Jet, Crushing Charge, Deadly Bludgeon, Right Flame Spray. No left Flame Spray. Interesting. So that's 3 monsters down. And we've got the Rathalos next, which is it's essentially the mascot of the series. Just like I can see that there's 2 variations of the Rathalos here. I want to say that it's got the most variations of any of the monsters in the series. Besides the Rathalos, which is the male of the species, there's also a green Rathian, which is essentially the same thing except she's green. And then there's also a alternate form. So we've got the Zorathalos, which is the alternate of the male form. The Rathian also has an alternate form, which is a pink Rathian, which is a match with this guy. And then there's also a silver and gold variants as well. I forget which is which. I think silver is the Rathalos and gold is the Rathian. And those are just even stronger versions. Essentially, these rare forms or different forms are just stronger versions and harder versions of it. And that's not even taking into account other mechanics they added, like tempered beasts and all sorts of other stuff like that. The issue I have with Rathalos is it's a dragon. It's a flying dragon, and not only does it breathe fire, but it can also poison you with its feet. The Rathian, the female, does have more poison to do with that monster, but this one can do it too. So it's almost a little bit fair that it can do so many things at once. All right, so we've got Tail Swing, Tackle, Raging Charge, Flying Fireball, Takeoff Blast, Swooping Evade, Claw Drop, Fire Spin, like Pokemon, Flamethrower, also like Pokemon, Flame Burst, close. Actually, I think there might be a Flame Burst move in Pokemon. Stunning Spin, Molten Bite, Charging Swoop. Alright, so that's the Rathalos. I'm curious to see what new moves they added for the Azure Rathalos. Tail Swing, Tackle, Talon Charge, Retreating Sweep, Take Off Blast, Swooping Evade, Claw Drop, Left Flame Burst, Fire Spray, Right Flame Burst, Fire Spin, Fireball, and Talon Dive. Alright, so that's it for those monsters. Neat cards there. Alright, so that's it for the monster behavior, monster attack cards. And let's go ahead and clear these out of the way. And then we'll move on to the next set of cards. Okay, so the next set of cards are going to be what I believe to be the time cards. I think these come into play during the exploration phase, the choose your own adventure phase, where it'll affect stuff that happens once you actually start the fight. I believe that's what these are. And I think the time cards are also related to the actual battle itself against the monster. So I'm not quite sure what's going to be in here. It'll be interesting to see just what's going on. I've seen some posts on the Facebook group complaining about the fact that the matches are timed, that there's even time involved at all, that they should just give you all the time in the world to fight the monsters. But in the game itself, all the hunts are timed. Some monsters, especially if you're ill-equipped, will take quite a while to fight, which is why it's always a good idea to have people with you to help out, just to kind of make the hunts that much easier. But so time has always been a thing. And it looks like I got different cards here. So I've got... Oh, okay. These are the... Oh, I should have known from the paw print. These are the Palico cards, which I believe is part of the daily unlocks. There were actual miniatures. But yeah, so these are supposed to be like one-off abilities that you can use with the Palicos. Okay, so that's cool. I like that. And then these are, okay, these are the time cards, I'm pretty sure, or the story cards. All right, since there's less of the Palico cards, we'll do those first. Okay, and just really quickly looking, these are abilities that the Palicos actually themselves have in the game. A lot of times they'll have, you can kind of set them up to do certain special moves so that they can either heal you during the fight, or have certain attacks, or draw the aggro of the monsters. And some are wilder than the others. I know sometimes there's like one where like it gets like a big old cannon and it shoots stuff, or it'll collect bugs around the area and shoot those out and cause status effects. So it'll be interesting to see what we have in here. So we've got, let's see, how am I going to do this? Okay, I'll just do it like this. I'll show the card and I'll move it over. All right, Choral Orchestra Ailment Cure. Choral Orchestra Attack Boost. Choral Orchestra Defense Boost. Choral Orchestra Dodge Boost. Plunderblade. Okay, that's where it's... I remember that. That's where it steals an item from the monster. Always good to have an extra roll for items. Wrath of Meow. Meowlatov Cocktail. Monster Hunter is known for their cat puns. Just any and all the text when those cats talk. I'm a big fan of puns, so I love when they have stuff like this.
Meowdy-doo.
You've seen it in the rulebook. I know they've got the Meowscular Chef. So just stuff like that is just hilarious. I eat it up. Fly Cage. That's where it's kind of like it stuns and blinds the monster. Vigor Wasp Spray. That's the healing item. And Shield Spire. Okay, so those are the Palico abilities. Now let's go ahead and take a look at these time cards. They've all got the same backing. And for anyone that's wondering why I'm doing this, not only do I kind of scan the cards and have a nice little good look at them, but also it's for me to take an inventory of what's actually here, so that in the future, if I need to look back and say, hey, are there any cards that are missing, I can kind of fall back on this just to double check. Okay, so we've got Tactical Shift, another Tactical Shift. Okay, we've got a bunch of repeats here. All right, so, okay, so we've got a bunch of Tactical Shifts. Then we've got Threat Shift. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 Threat Shifts. How many of the Tactical Shifts do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 Tactical Shifts, 8 Threat Shifts. Monster Retreat. 2 Monster Retreats. Brief Respite. 4 of those. Wiggly Litchi. Looks like just one of those. 2 Paratoads, which are always helpful. Paralyze the monster. 2 Sleep Toads. 2 Poison Cups, which is actually a flower. When you hit it, it'll spill a bunch of poison all over the floor, and if the monster runs into it, they get poisoned. Nitro Toad, 2 of those. Monster Sleeps, 2 of those. That's always a good thing, right? Roar, 2 of those, and that's always a bad thing. Suspended Boulder. Okay, so I know these are the ones that... there's boulders in the ancient forest, and you can kind of knock them down, and it'll fall on the monster's head and stun them and also do a lot of damage. 2 Rampage cards. 2 Vespoid attack cards. 2 Misread cards. That doesn't sound good. 5 Keep Hunting cards. 1 Rushed Advance. 1 Researcher's Favor. 1 Ancient Guardian. Jagger Slayer, 1. 1 Avenged. 1 Unavenged. 1 Time Waster. 1 Aimless Wandering. 1 Palico Assistant. 1 Betrayal. 1 Turf War. Those are always great. Turf Wars are when 2 monsters will end up in the same territory and they end up fighting against each other. It doesn't always happen, but when it does, it's great. And unfortunately, in some cases where you think it's going to be great, it's actually not. In the case of a Rathalos and a Rathian being together, remember I said that they're the male, female of the species, so they won't fight against each other, but they'll both turn on you. We have 1 Exhaustion. 1 Fumbled Carving. That's not good. 1 Rathalos Slayer. 1 Wake Up. And 1 Recovery. I noticed that some of these time cards have got both blue and red with the little timer on here. The red is looks like when you're running out of time. I'm not quite sure what that means exactly, whether you maybe on the whole deck you have all the blue cards on top and then you shuffle all the red cards on the bottom. I'm not sure. But yeah, so there is a noticeable difference of those blue cards and red cards. Okay, so those are the time cards and the Palico cards. Okay, next I'm going to take a look at these cards with the different elements backing. It looks like these are attack associated with the attack cards for each of the different weapons. From what I understand, each weapon deck has got, in addition to the special abilities, they've got attack cards that can be 1 or 2 or 3 damage, and then depending on which weapon you have, you mix and match how much of each of those attack cards is in there. I actually do like this backing right here with the different elements: the dragon, water, thunder, fire, and ice elements. This is something you would see kind of out of a collectible card game or trading card game, which, from what I understand, has not happened with Monster Hunter, but that'd be kind of cool if they did do something with this design. Let's see what we're looking at. Yeah, these look like a lot of number cards. I think these are just the damage cards and not any ability cards. Although, there's different backings here. Let's see. Okay, so these have got one type of backing. And these have got another. Is that the... Yeah, I think these are going to be all the numbered damage cards. You got your 1s. A lot of 1s, I'm sure. Some 2s. Threes are in here somewhere. There's the 3s. Some 4s if you've got really good weapons. Cool. I actually like this design too in the front with all the there should be 14 weapons on there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, all of the weapons are on here. Even this would make a good backing for a collectible card game. I like the design. The number in this little sparky thing, I guess, could have done better, but it's not like I would know what to do. Okay, see, this design is better with the symbol right here in the middle with the X. So yeah, so this would, I mean, I'd buy some playing cards with this kind of design, maybe a little bit more color. But yeah, this is nice. So those are the damage cards. Let's see what these are supposed to be. Oh, more damage cards. I'm guessing maybe these are tied to elemental attacks. Yeah, I guess that would make sense. For elemental weapons, you would need element attacks. So you got your 1, your 2, your 3, and 1, 4. Okay, that was quick. That's that stack of cards. All right, now I've got these left. I'm guessing these are going to be the equipment cards and the attack cards that go on your stamina board, just from what I can tell on the backing. So let's go with the... There's a lot more of these, so we'll do the attack cards last, and then we'll do these equipment cards first. I didn't need the knife for that one. Okay, let's see how we want to do this. So just start from the top. On the bottom, we've got alloy greaves, alloy mail, alloy helm. And I'm guessing there's multiple sets in case everybody wants to equip them. Yeah, I guess there would be 4 sets for each one. So we've got the alloy set. Helm, mail, greaves. Then we've got the bone set. Bone helm, bone mail, bone greaves. I'm assuming there's 4 sets of that. Okay, if that's the case, I guess I can show these 3 at a time. Okay, let's do this. Jagras Helm, Jagras Mail, Jagras Greaves. I guess there would be one set per monster. So next is the Toby Kadachi set. We have the Greaves, Kadachi Mail, and Kadachi Helm. Okay, now we've got Anjanath Greaves, Anjanath Mail, Anjanath Helm. Okay, I'm assuming the last sets are the Rathalos and probably the Azure Rathalos set. So we got Rathalos Greaves, Rathalos Mail, and Rathalos Helm. And from what I can tell, these are designed just like in the game. I don't know every armor set by heart, but those do look pretty spot on. And the last set of armor, we've got the Wrath Soul, which is from the Azure Rathalos. The Wrath Soul Helm, Wrath Soul Mail, and Wrath Soul Greaves. So there we go, there's the last set. I was actually really worried with the fact that there were so many cards, but I guess a lot of them are repeats, which makes sense. So now we've got the weapons. I'm not sure if these are ordered in any way, shape, or form, but this one's green, so it's higher quality, so I'll do that last. I'll do the biggest stack first. Okay, we'll do that stack first. I don't need no knife. Are these gonna be okay? Looks like it's all the weapons in order. In order of rarity. Whew, that's a lot of cards. All right, we'll just flip them in order. So we're gonna start with what looks like the Great Sword. With the Great Sword, at least in the game, it's pretty much the biggest damage dealer. Great Sword is just this big honking sword, you know, 2-3 times the size of the person himself, and it's just big damage. It's slow, and it takes a long while to charge, but once you get it going, it's just, that's the one you want to hit the monster with when you want to end it quickly. So that's Great Sword. So Bone Blade, Buster Blade, Bone Slasher, Chrome Razor, Giant Jaw Blade, Flame Blade, Jagras Blade, Red Wing, Jagras Hacker. Okay, so those are the weapons themselves. Now we've got the actual attacks. Those have the stamina board. You'll know that they're attacks because they've got the whole stamina thing in yellow right here. So, we have an Enhanced Jumping Slash, another one, Greater Sword Block, Strong Riser Slash, another one, Heavy Slice, Enhanced Overhead Slam, quite a few of those, Blazing Slam, Strong Charge Up, Crushing Slash. So that's it for the Great Sword. set. Now here we've got the Sword and Shield, which is my weapon of choice. The Sword and Shield isn't the strongest in terms of raw damage, but it's generally it's recommended that you try that one first, just because it has a lot of utility to it. It can do a lot. It's really quick to sheath and unsheath, so you're pretty mobile. You can use items while the weapon is drawn, which is rare for most of those weapons. And because it has a shield, you can block. Another thing too is that because it's got you can do damage separately with the sword and the shield. You can do blunt damage with the shield and knockout damage. So if you kind of smack the monster in the face with the shield, you can do knockout damage similar to the hammer. And the sword, because it hits so fast, if you have element or status damage, like you want to build up poison really fast, or you want to do a lot of fire damage for a monster that's weak against fire, Sword and Shield can do that easily just because it attacks so quickly. So we've got the Bone Kukri, Steel Knife, Chief Kukri, Chrome Slicer, Grand Barong, Flame Knife, Jagras Edge, Heat Edge. Actually, I have this right now. I've got I think it's the Corona, the upgraded version of this one, and it looks just like that. Jagras Garati. So those are the weapons. Now we've got the moves. Strong Shield Bash. Enhanced Advancing Slash. Chop Reversal. Helm Splitter. Advancing Double Slash. Glutton Lateral Slash. Blazing Combo. Jump Rising Slash. Okay. So that's Sword and Shield. Next up is the Dual Blades. Dual Blades are really fast, but also have low damage like the Sword and Shield. Just like with the Sword and Shield that I mentioned about being able to deal a lot of status or element damage, because you attack so fast with them, it's good for dealing a lot of status or element damage. Also, it's got a special mechanic as well. I think there's a mode, like you hit a button and then you go into demon mode, where you're a little bit faster and with the attacks, and it does burn up stamina, but you build up a meter, and if you fill up that meter all the way, you can go into Archdemon mode, which is even faster and stronger attacks, and you can really, cut deep into the monster. So that's the whole deal with the sword, Dual Blades. So we got the Bone Hatchets, the Dual Slicers, the Wild Hatchets, Chrome Slicers, Strong Hatchets, Blazing Hatchets, Pulsar Hatchets, the Anja Cyclone, and the Kodachi Claws. And now these are the moves. It has Lunging Stab, a couple of those, Impact Double Slash, Impact Double Slash, Strong Rapid Spin, Enhanced Blade Dance, a lot of those. Shocking Rush. I'm noticing that a lot of these are element attacks, which I guess would be exclusive to the element weapons, like for example, Shocking Rush would probably be only in the Tobi Kodachi Dual Blades. Shocking Rush, Blazing Fold Slash, Blazing Double Slash. Come to think of it, I guess you can really treat this game like Pokemon if you want, where you've got strengths and weaknesses. I would imagine that the Tobi Kodachi is weak against fire, but since it has a thunder element, you can use the thunder weapon to be good against the Great Jagras, who's a water type. And then the Jagras weapon, which is water, you can use it against the Anjanath. And as for the Rathalos, I'm assuming that would be the dragon dragon type, so I don't even know if it even has a weakness to any of these. Maybe the water. I'm not sure. I haven't looked at the weaknesses of the monsters in this game, but you can kind of see how they did it that way. You've got a water, fire, a thunder, and a dragon type. So for the attacks, enhanced demon mode that I had mentioned. Oh, I guess I'd already gone through them. Okay, so enhanced demon mode is the last one. And the last weapon, we've got the bow. Now, the bow is the only long-range weapon we've got in this set. I know in the other set, what's in the other set? I think it's the... What's in the other set? The heavy bow gun is in the Wildspire waist. And I think the light bow gun and some of the other stuff is in the Hunter's Arsenal. But for the bow is actually mid-range, just because... I don't think it's got as good a long range as the bow guns. I think it loses damage over time. But the deal with the bow is that you can do like a charge shot where you can kind of hold it, build up strength, and then you just let it go and it hits the monster really hard. In addition, you can also do what do you call them? You like apply. I bet you it's in here too. You apply like these and I forgot the word. I'll probably remember as soon as I'm done with the video. You apply these like, I don't know, salves or whatever you want to call them. But you apply these to the arrows and those change the element, not the element, the damage that the arrows can do. So you can do poison damage or sleep damage with your bows. So we've got the Hunter's Bow, Steel Bow, Hunter's Stout Bow, Alloy Bow, Hunter's Proud Bow, Pulsar Bow, Blazing Bow, Flying Kodachi Strike Bow, I like that, the Anja Arc or Anja Arch. Oh, here we go, coatings, that's what it was. I should just looked at the cards. So, yeah, that's what I was talking about. Poison Coating, Paralysis Coating, Skilled Feint. Oh yeah, you can move around a lot with the bow. You've got a lot of mobility. Enhanced Shot. Strong Arc Shot. Another thing you can do is you can shoot up arrows into the air, and then it's almost kind of like a you can kind of aim where it's going to land, and then it lands a few seconds later. Strong Arc Shot. Enhanced Charge Shot. High Power Coating. Blast Coating. Striking Dragon Piercer. That sounds cool. Blazing Charge Shot. Okay, so that's it for those. Now, I wonder if, because I've got a lot more cards to look at, I wonder if these are just more weapons and then attacks tied to those weapons. Yeah, because I've got more. Well, let's go ahead and see. Maybe what I'll do is I'll edit. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that. Maybe I'll just edit all the card types together and you'll just kind of see it patched together really nicely. We'll see how lazy I am to do that. Or if I'm just going to do them in order like this and not edit anything. So what do we got here? Yeah, this is bow stuff. Oh, there's more gear. Wow, it's just a mixed bag in here. Okay. Let's see if we can sort this out. Oh, you know what I think these might be? These might be tied to the other monsters. Or maybe not. Not sure. Alright, we'll just go through them and see what happens. Buster Sword. Chainmail Trousers. Oh, this is armor. Oh, this is like a whole set. So we've got the Buster Sword, trousers, the vest, and the headgear. So this is like the chainmail set. I guess you want to call it that. And then the moves associated with that set. Okay, so we've got Jumping Slash, Great Sword Block, Rising Slash, True Charge Slash, Tackle. Oh, that's important in the game. Tackle. White Slash, Overhead Slam, Charge Up, yeah, I'm gonna have a heck of a time having to sort these out later. These look to be like more sword and shield stuff. So we have the Hunter's Knife, leather trousers, leather mail, leather headgear. Oh, this is like the starting set. This, I think that's what this is. This is the starting set. Okay, so we've got Advanced Slash, Advancing Slash, Chop, Chop, Backstep. There's the Backstep. Yeah, I was wondering what was that. That's like one of the most important things for Sword and Shield is that you do that Backstep, and then you could either lead with the fancy slash, I forget the name, or you can do the one where you jump up in the air and you slam on their head. So yeah, these are probably the starter sets, and then I was looking at the more advanced weapons that you get from the monsters themselves. Guard Up, Round Slash, Rising Slash, Slinger Shot, Shield Bash, Sword and Shield Combo, Lateral Slash. Okay, so that's the Sword and Shield basic set. But yeah, now it makes sense what I was looking at. So now we have the dual blades. So we have the match slicers, leather trousers, leather mail, and leather headgear. All right, we've got lunging stab, feint, demon mode, round slash, six-fold slash, rapid spin, another Pokemon move, double slash, bladed fangs, blade dance. Okay. Okay, and the last of the starting gear, we've got the iron bow, chainmail trousers, chainmail vest, and chainmail headgear. As for moves, we've got shot, shots. Is it all shot? Okay, here we go. Arc shot, feint, charge sidestep, power coating, charge shot, dragon piercer. All right, so that's it for the starting gear for all four weapons. And the last set of cards. And move the knife again, and I drop that. And even with the knife, I can't really get this plastic off. All right, what do we have here? Looks like it's another set. So we'll separate that. Ah, these are the weapons and attacks associated with the monsters from the other box. Okay. Alright, so that's why they were separate. So let's see what they have in store in for the Wildspire Waste monsters with the Hunters in the Ancient Forest set. So we've got the Carapace Buster, Blooming Blade, Baroth Shredder, and the Datura Blaze. And the extra move cards we've got the Empowered Great Sword Block, Toxic Charge Slash, Paralyzing Slash, and Poisoned Charge Up. Okay, so that's the Great Sword Wildspire Waste set. Okay, now for the Sword and Shield, we've got Carapace Edge, Blooming Knife, Baroth Club, Datura Blossom. And for moves, you've got the Powerful Double Slash, Poison Spin Slash, Steadfast Chop, Toxicity. Nice System of a Down reference there. Intentional or not, I'll never know. Okay, so that's the Sword and Shield set for Wildspire Waste. Dual Blades. We've got Madness Pangas, Diablo's Hatchets, Giura Hatchets, and Diablo's Clubs. And for extra move cards, we've got the Brutal Double Slash, Water Dance, Flurry Rush, and Brutal Demon Mode. Okay, so that's it for those cards. And last but not least, looking at the bow set for the Wildspire Waste. We've got Bloomin' Arch, Diablo's Bow, Datura String, and Diablo's Coil Bender. And for moves, we've got the Poison Shot, Rending Arrows, Flared Shot, Rapid Dash, not Rapidash, the Pokemon. Okay, and that's all the cards in the game, in the Ancient Forest core box. Yeah, so that's what we've got. There's quite a bit to look at. I'm liking what they're doing with the way each weapon has got its own set of mechanics, and I'm definitely going to be digging a lot deeper with what each of these things can do. But I am liking how they really did try to mimic what they can do in the game. The charges, the power shots, the coatings, the demon mode, the archdemon mode, the backstep and the combos with the sword and shield. So yeah, so there's a lot to look at and mess around with and strategize with. So that'll be interesting. Besides the cards, we've still got to look at those minis. So let me go ahead and we'll switch to mini mode. We'll do the whole thing with the Lazy Susan and a spin around, and we'll kind of take a closer look at each of those models. Unfortunately, they're not going to be painted at this time because I have never painted any minis in my life. So yeah, let's go ahead and switch to that. Okay, so I know that we spent a lot of time unboxing the game, looking at the components, going over all the cards, all while trying to give a little bit of insight on the video game that inspired this game. And so now it's finally time that we just go ahead and take a look at these minis. Now, one more thing I wanted to add is that each of the hunters that come in the game actually are wearing the corresponding armors of the monsters that you can fight. For example, the Greatsword Hunter is wearing Jagras armor, the Bow Hunter is wearing Tobikadachi armor, the Dual Blades Hunter is wearing Anjanath armor, and the Sword and Shield Hunter is wearing Rathalos armor. So they actually do match up. So let's just go ahead and take a look at these minis.
The trail seems to stop here.
All right, we made it to the end, finally. If you're still here, I just want to thank you so much for taking the time to watch this. I really just wanted to, I guess, showcase how the worlds of the video game and the board game really came together with this. And I guess showcase just how much from the video game was brought into the board game. I know we covered a lot of things. We looked at all the cards and the minis. We haven't even had a chance to look at the actual mechanics of the weapons themselves and how they translated the game mechanics from the video game over into the board game. So I feel like there's still a lot more to see in this game, and I'm looking forward to digging deeper into it myself. And for those that never played the video game before, I hope I was able to kind of showcase just a little bit more of this world that you normally wouldn't have gotten from just written text or still pictures. So I hope that you were able to take away something from this. So yeah, that's all I have to say. Thank you again for watching. Quest completed. I'll see you in the next one.